Shane Woodford. Today we're in Norwich in the United Kingdom, where we're going to learn all about the North Sea Region CANAPE project and why peat bogs and wetlands are invaluable in the fight against climate change. In the city, I'm met by Harry Mack, CANAPE's project director. He's going to take me to see one of their intriguing pilot projects. The site we're going to see is a bit of a drive outside the city. It's a restored peat bog in the Broads National Park, or better known locally as simply the Broads. The drive through the charming English countryside is lovely. The CANAPE project is working across 5 North Sea region countries to restore and preserve wetlands and peatland bogs. Peat bogs are crucial in the fight against climate change as they absolutely soak up carbon. As we arrive on site, we get our first glimpse of the ongoing efforts to bring water back to rejuvenate this peat bog and restore its ability to be a carbon sink. Peat bogs are nature's superweapon in the fight against climate change. A bog the size of a football pitch can sequester more carbon than an entire rainforest, and conversely, draining even a small one releases greenhouse gas emissions roughly equivalent to the pollution spewed out by a coal-fired power plant.
So this is about going back, but also to take us further forward. So essentially our aspiration is to lock up that carbon and stop the emission. Where we've got peat in the ground, we should not be draining it. So this is a drained area of peatland that we're bringing back water onto. So the super weapon here is locking up carbon so it's not oxidising anymore and releasing to the overlying atmosphere.
Bogs and wetlands are also key for flood prevention in river catchments and building into the land a resilience against droughts.
And it's been demonstrated over and over again with the wildfires. We've seen that actually these wetlands can be barriers and they can keep areas safe by raising the water level.
But the benefits to restoring wetlands extend beyond the environment.
But what we've learned is there's a real diversity of stuff that can be grown. So on the site behind me, we're looking at thatching reed and typer plants, which can be used for a variety of things such as clothing and building materials.
It's about jobs. It's about creating local places for people to work, to create a harvest. 95% of the reed is imported for our thatching, for our roofs. We need to plant it, we need to treat it commercially. We need to see who wants to pay for that, what markets are out there.
With the local thatch industry a shadow of what it once was, revitalizing and restoring wetlands and bogs is being welcomed with open arms and reigniting hope among thatchers that there might be a light at the end of the tunnel.
We're going to have to start looking way into the future, and we have to go backwards. We have to go how it was years ago. You have to produce local goods, and reed is one of them.
But getting the English thatch industry back onto its feet also presents its own challenges.
We're here in the Broads, and unfortunately it's an expensive area to live, as indeed the same problem exists in other national parks and posh areas. Only wealthy people can afford to live here now. And so the younger people are really leaving the countryside, moving towards the urban areas, and in this case Norwich, Yarmouth, Lowestoft, and having to commute to the Broads. So there needs to be affordable housing for a workforce. And also, to commute, now they're burning a lot of their income, which is relatively low, on fuel. So that has to be addressed as well.
Restoring wetlands and bogs, although vital work, has been a journey that has been far from easy.
Water is the key to everything, is what we've learned. So getting water onto the site, how you build and make sure that happens, has been an incredibly challenging task. We've had a few failures with sites where we're unable to get enough water onto it and have to go back and look at how to do that, which is particularly important given the drought we've been having.
The land this particular site sits on has been owned and managed by the Buxton family for generations.
So my grandfather bought it in 1930, moved here in 1932.
Funding from groups like the North Sea region have been crucial to make projects like this happen.
I was willing to give it a go to see whether it's possible. Thanks to the Broads Authority and funding, they're making up the loss financially from this grant. And the project obviously has paid for everything here on this experiment. There's no income from it, so the funding as being critical to get this sort of thing off the ground.
Besides the vital benefits to the environment and to the economy, restoring bogs and wetlands provides crucial habitat for birds, plants, and animals, and of course, even the occasional human visitor enjoying nature and the clean air it provides. More than half of Europe's peatland bogs have been drained, an ecological and environmental disaster. By saving wetlands and peatland bogs, we save ourselves and take an important step to make this planet that we all share cleaner, greener, and a few degrees cooler.